not many days behind schedule and all that. And getting phone calls from Delhi. When are you reaching? Where are you? I am in a wonderland. That's all. That is what I am not. When are you reaching and starting your work? I don't know. We hope to, but you have to be a optimist, isn't it? And I am a chronic optimist. So not only that I am an optimist, it is a chronic disease with me. So I always hope for the best. So he said we are going to start soon. I think we have overcome the difficulties. Because then we have come to Polinia. It is free from ice. Now there is a, now this is where we have landed, frozen sea water. Can you see that? And you can see, can you see the blue patch? You see that is the sea level. So that is the sea water. And this is the frozen sea water. And this may not remain there. In the morning it is intact. And in the evening a part of it may break. So therefore, the captain will not put his ship permanently here. He will drop us and then go back in the safe region and float around there. And when again we come back in the evening, after 10, 12 hours of work or more, then at Antarctica, when you went there, it is 24 hours of sunshine. So in Antarctica, we don't follow trade union timings. You work even for 15, 16 hours if Antarctica permits you to work. We may not work. Huh? So what has happened? Zero engagement if weather is hostile. But if Antarctica weather permits it, we have to work. So we don't work in trade union timing of 10 to 5. Now you can see that. So we have downloaded this. In a bucket we get down, and you can see this is a snow vehicle. It is a rubber track. It looks like a, have you seen those tanks, army tanks? Yes. It has got a metal tank. Here we are using a rubber tire so that load is much less, otherwise it will break and we shall go inside water. That is what we have to do there. And this is called snow scooter. This is for reconnaissance purposes. 2 people can go and look around. It has a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, but that is not a desirable speed in Antarctica. We should travel in 20-25 kilometers. 2 people, and you can carry with a sledge 500 kilograms of material. So that you can go in the morning or even for a day you can survive. But the other one, you can take 8 people, 12 tons of material in a sledge, and if you have proper clothing and proper food, even for 7 days you can survive in that, vehicle. So that is, Hillary went by this type of vehicle. For Hillary also went to South Pole. So there is they wanted to cover from across, or like an arc of a circle, they covered it, a British team, and Hillary joined them with the supply from the New Zealand. He came to South Pole, and these people reached South Pole, and then together they went back. So that was in 1956, done in the International Geophysical Year. So that is what has happened. So you have seen that we have doing this, and this is the dress. But normally this is not the common dress. Either you have the orange dress, so that you can see from a distance, or a deep blue. It is for visibility purposes. But this is also done. Everything is covered from head to toe. Only the eyes are open, but you go on blinking it. And if you, when you breathe out, sometimes you will see that it is getting freezing. The air is freezing and all that. And you don't keep, excepting the tip of the nose, you don't keep anything open because it really is freezing. Hand gloves, and then it is 24 hours of sunshine, and that sunshine is what you see in these places, and in North India and all that, even in Rajasthan and all that, during the month of April, May. But here the additional effect is that there is a reflection from the eyes, so it glares. And the ultraviolet ray is very heavy, very strong there, so you should always have a snow goggles. Otherwise, your eyes may get damaged. So you'll go Antarctica, but the damaged eye should not come. You have to remain healthy. Now you see, these are the crevasses. It looks like railway lines in some yard, important yard, Mughal and all that. But it is not. It is what has happened because of this stress. This is how they weak, and these are called lips of the crevasses. And now, not that everything is weak. You can take your vehicle in some parts, but some parts are weak. If you take the vehicle, it will collapse and go inside. So this is again a trial and error method, and this will, and after some time, somewhere it will break. You see, it puts us stress, and this is how the huge sheet of ice, this is how the crevasses develop. And these are called lips of the ice. Not a very beautiful lips, it can be a very dangerous lips. So this is what exactly, the crevasses then becomes, I'm sorry. This is often now, snow will collect on each lip of a crevasse, building outwards until the opening is bridged. Sometimes what has happened, it is covered with snow and it closes the lips. You see, this is what has happened with this pattern is called by ice strangling both directions as it flows over isolated humps in the bedrock hidden far beneath the surface. Now, we are going now, and we should have to take sledges. Now, you have not asked me a question. That you said that I claim that I have gone to Antarctica. I should have asked a question that seawater is also frozen, covered with ice. Antarctica is also covered with ice. What is the guarantee that you went up to the seawater, frozen seawater, and came back and making a tall train? This has to be proved. And how do I also know that I have really gone to Antarctica? This is a two-way game. I must know, and then I must convince you. Or whether I go there or not, you have to ask a question, because you should not accept whatever I say. You see, Antarctica, frozen seawater is at the sea level, and Antarctica is at a higher level. So you can see this is the junction of the Antarctica and the, and this is what I told you, that it is at the fringe of the, like an umbrella's end, it is like that, and this is called shelf ice. Below this, if you drill, you will get water. But after maybe 10-20 kilometers inside, if you drill, it will be rock. So this shelf ice breaks from time to time, and it becomes a iceberg. And so begin with, icebergs are flat. But you might have seen in many of the photographs and all that, plenty of gateways and all that. What happens? Below the bottom of the iceberg melts gradually, and then it loses its equilibrium. So it tilts, and then sometimes it becomes upside down. And upside down is those arches and all that, They may be 2 years old, 3 years old icebergs. And the biggest, this iceberg that we saw is very small. But the biggest iceberg was, believe me, in 1956 observed in Antarctica by an ice breaker, which is 336 kilometers long. 336 kilometers from Bombay to Bhubaneswar to half of distance of Howrah. 600 kilometers, if it is 650, it is half the distance. And width was 96 kilometers. That means from beyond Cuttack, 100 kilometers is, Cuttack will be about 30-40 kilometers. So just imagine 3 times that distance. That is the iceberg size, which is bigger than many of the districts and many of the countries of Europe. So this is here what has happened. I have to take a sledge. So how do I take sledge? I don't have cranes here. And in Antarctica, I am the leader, I am the laborer, I am the scientist. I have to do everything. Okay? So what has happened? We are trying to find out, this is called ramp. The natural ramps are available. So if you can take your vehicle, it should be stable enough. So we are doing some reconnaissance survey. You can see that I have jumped on there. Not that I know a lot about it, but a leader has to lead from the front. Here you are. So I am not that I know much, but I am trying to say that I can take. Let me have a look at it, because I have to take a decision. So, and this is a big crevasse. It could be half a kilometer long, it could be 50 kilometers long. There are no crevasses here. That doesn't mean there is no crevasse here. It is covered with soft snow. And maybe these areas are unstable, and these areas are stable, and vice versa. So in any such area, we are trying to take a decision. Should we take this ramp to go to Antarctica? Ultimately, we decided, in spite of this crevasse, dangerous looking crevasse, we decided we shall use this ramp. We have used this. And this is the typical dress, you know. You can see these are the goggles, and this is the way we have come and all that. We have come with one of my colleagues. Now this is not the helicopter that we have used. This has been used after 20 years by one of my students. who went there to do some work. This is there is a generation gap. Our helicopters were very savvy looking. This is a very sleek looking, just like the smartphone and the telephone that we are using it. Difference like that. Now you see, can you see that? You can see that this is the survey that we are doing. Trying to find out how it looks like, what could be clearance and all that, which is the route, if it is possible. And you see here, can you see that here there is a blade? And here the blade has collapsed, that means it is about to land. It is about to land. And we are, you see, he is looking at it, and you can see that. How the ship is going, it is all around covered with snow, as if it is trapped. So, and now the question comes is, you have heard about molecules. So when you see a material, we see that the molecules, are several molecules ultimately making it. What about the ice? It is made of, in Antarctica, snowflakes is the tiny particle through which accumulates and ultimately becomes. So there was a gentleman, was a crazy fellow, he was a milk seller, what they call a dairy specialist in Vermont, USA. His hobby was, if there is a snowfall, we go inside to avoid the snowfall and to avoid cold. He will go collect it and put it below the microscope to see how does it look like. And this is how it looks like below the microscope. It doesn't look like that white ice, you see. It looks like as if I have gone to a jewelry shop and stolen some of the jewels and showing it. It is how this snowfall looks like under, snowflakes look like, and this is different from that. This is one snowflake, this is another snowflake. This is, I have taken it from there. There are plenty, and he said, no snowflakes looks alike. That means the moment a snowflake melts, we are losing a beauty. Because under microscope, it is another type of beauty. Now you see, this is another two snowflakes under microscope. In blind eye, in a normal eye it is only. So this is, you can always have, you can go and ask your parents to present you some sort of ornament like this. Or if you want a design, you can put me as a consultant, I shall charge you a fee and give you many more designs of an ornament. You see, can you see that? This looks entirely different than this. Now you see another two. These are different from this. I can show you many, but then the entire talk will be only snowflakes, and I have not come for that. I have many more things to say. So we shall stop it here. Now you see, this looks like as if like a volcano has come from inside. No, it is a floating lazy ice sheet, iceberg, where it was floating here, previous year it has come, and then this year it is frozen. Sea is frozen, so it is trapped. Our ship can also get trapped. So you have to be, one has to be careful. Then, at the end of that, you see, entire ice has melted, and now it is lazily floating. So things are, but what has happened, our ship that is moving, if you are not careful, then for example, 4 or 5 days -0 temperature, everything you will see, you are like a chakrabuh, entirely surrounded by frozen sea water, and even you could come out. I will not know the mantras to come out of that, because front ice, back ice, right ice, left ice, and I also ultimately become ice if I really do not do it properly. Now you have seen, you see in the Discovery Channel, all that you will see that this is there are varieties of birds there, but these birds cannot fly. They have wings. They have front is a silky white and back is silky black, jet black, but silky, lustrous. And they walk like a, flapping their wings like a child. There are varieties. This is the smallest one called Adélie. Adélie was the name of the wife of a French expeditionist who went to Antarctica. And these, in that area was found, so he has given the name Adélie penguins. So Adélie penguins are about 12-15 inches tall. They walk like a child and gives an impression that they will fall down and eat us. But they are very inquisitive, friendly. They look around you and try to find out who are these fellows who have come to our land from some distant land and all that. Who are these fellows? Different looking and all that. So they live in a group. They are very good swimmers. Their food is in the sea. The small crustaceans called krill, that is their food. Even the whales and seals, that is their food also. And you can see that this is white, this is black. You see, we have landed, this is our helicopter. And my student, you have seen the helicopter? And it's very sleek, beautiful looking. And this is old school, you know, and it looks like this. So what has happened, you see? These two penguins, we have landed there for a reconnaissance. These two penguins are trying to find out who have come to our land. This huge big things and all that. But you can see their body language, they don't look to be nervous. They're approaching it very, very confidently. Suppose an EFO lands in Kit campus. So we approach that, there will be a pandemonium. Everybody will go for it to save his life. But you see here the language is entirely different. Here you can see that they are. Now, eggs are laid. Penguins rear in a most difficult weather condition. No animal breeds in such a hostile condition. They lay their egg in that ice, and then the mother penguin is hungry because there is no food. After laying the egg, it goes back to this nearest sea in search of food. And the male partner protects it. And it has a pouch like a kangaroo, it's not exactly like that. And in case it is a snowstorm comes, the male partner, or if the female is also there, they will put partly the eggs inside the pouch and partly on their toe, and they will take it to the place of safety. This is what has happened, social science of how the breeding of penguins are made. And you can see that. You see, you can see that. This is what exactly they are putting. This is how the egg is made, and on their toes. Now this is called rookery. It is safer place to lay the eggs because it is generally not covered with ice. You see? This is what I call, these are not Adelie penguin. This is from another, this is not my photograph. Till now I was showing my slides. This is taken from another book of, and this is a king penguin which is about 4.5 feet tall. And these are the chicks, and chicks looks like this. They are gray in color. When they grow up, you see, these are the grown up. And this you may call a Chinese population or an Indian population of penguins. So this is what exactly, can you see that? Here is a big population. Now this is, you see there is a strong wind and Antarctica blows. It could be 150, 200 kilometers per hour. It could be there for 7 days, 10 days, 12 days. So penguins survive there. They are in a group of 50, 100, 150. So they encircle and go there. The fellows who are outside, it looks like, have you seen to the very villages in India, or most villages in India, you will see on the walls there are cow dung cakes. It looks like somebody has put ice cakes there. Only thing is that the difference is that you cannot eat this, putting some syrup and sugar, you can very safely eat. Different shapes of. But whole thing is that the fellows who are outside, if they are outside for 10, 12 days, they will die. So there is a social science, social behavior of penguins. The fellows who are outside, they will not remain outside. They will push their way inside, and the inside fellows will come outside. And this will go on during the entire difficult period. So that everybody shares the difficult time as far as possible equitably. This is a social behavior of penguins that we, mankind, must learn. That how to face a difficult situation by a society so that everybody faces the difficult time equitably. This is something which is worth learning. Now this is again a photograph that I have taken. This is my favorite photograph. This is also by another book I have taken. This is how a happy family should look like. So I wish my audience a happy family like this. This is a king penguin, a pair and 2 chicks. You can see this is what I had told you, that this is there is somewhere a pouch. Well, yes, please.
So you said that these eggs are hatched in cold environment, do they require any warming?
No, that is what exactly nature takes care. That is what is the way the normal eggs are hatched, but they have their way, certainly need such amount of work that the mother penguin does. And incidentally, as you have said, that after laying the eggs, mother penguin goes in search of food to the sea, and the male partner takes care. And she comes with the food, not for the entire family, because on her only a small amount can be there. So it is meant for the chick and for herself. And the male partner starves during that period, and once the female partner comes, he goes in search of food. So that is also another thing we must learn, how to take equitable share in rearing a child. Especially we Indians, because I have a feeling, and I am quite justified in that, very inequitable participation of male partner takes place in rearing a child. It is mainly the mother or the lady does it. You see, this is seal, this is another creature. These are all 5 feet, 6 feet long, 500 kg, 600 kg weight, and they are not friendly, but they are neither dangerous unless until you try to create problems for them. So this is Dr. Davolkar. He is my friend, he is trying to disturb it. You see, this has come through a crevasse. You can see this has come through a crevasse. This is not visible. It is a crevasse, it has come from down and doing some sunbathing here. Davolkar comes and tries to disturb it, not a very desirable thing, one should not do it. Because, you see, if the animal thinks that it is in danger, it will be hostile. And this is a 500, 600 kg. One slap will be enough. So, you see, so once it disturbs, it takes a yawn like this. The Davolkar is not seen here. So, this yawn is not very uncommon to we Indians. You go to an inquiry counter in railways, banks, post office, universities, colleges, and all sorts of places. Sometimes the man at the counter, you ask a question, man at the counter takes a yawn like this and conveys a message, get lost. I am busy. So this also perhaps this seal conveyed to Dr. Davolkar, do your job, let me take rest. Now, entire convoy goes, you don't send a vehicle, you send a convoy. So that if there is any trouble, everything remains intact, everything is stored. You repair the vehicle and then all again together you go. Generally it is done, but there are cases where it is not done and then you create a problem. You see, there are certain materials, may not be very valuable, nuts and bolts. The crevasses and all that, if there is a danger, I will not send it by them. There are restrictions within the helicopter. So we put a net, there is an underbelly, there is a hook. And this is a 1600 RPM, very difficult to stand there. So therefore, what exactly has happened, you put a net in the underbelly, then some boxes, and you put such what you call sensitive components, maybe nuts, bolts, medicines. Medicines are not that difficult, we can carry ourselves also, but these are the things. And to stand there is very difficult. So this is, you have to keep it balanced. And mind you, both sides there are obstacles like cranes. If it's slightly disbalanced, it will hit it. And the previous expedition, one army, Air Force helicopter could not balance it with 4 people, 4 co-pilots and all that, it went into the sea. So people could be rescued without any difficulties, but the helicopter was lost. So now this is what, can you see that? This is in the evening we are doing it. It looks like as if a daytime. Well, sorry. Hello? হ্যাঁ, আমি এখন একটু ভুবনেশ্বরে আছি, আপনাকে কিছুক্ষণ পরে ফোন করছি। ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। So this is what exactly happens, you know. You can see that these are the soft snow. And you see the mark, you can see that, and the weather you can see that, 24 hours of sunshine. Absolutely a daytime scenario, and there is a glare. And we are carrying our things and all that. Now, machine is a machine, it will misbehave at times. So this is the last trip that we are making. And it is about 9:30 in the evening. and then we have to make another 2.5 hours of journey, and some problem is there. Normally, in the normal conditions, it might have taken 10 minutes. But in Antarctica, everything you have to do with the gloves on. Holding a nut and bolt and all that, and putting it in place with wrench and all that, it takes more time. What would have taken 5-10 minutes, they might take 1 hour here. Very inconvenient way of doing it at the bottom. But I must say my teammates are doing an excellent job. And here, this is last trip, 9:30, everybody is hungry. And at that time, the temperature on that particular moment was minus 26 degrees Celsius. Wind speed was 35 kilometers per hour. That means wind chill factor was minus 55 degrees Celsius. You did not have to be impatient. Don't try to hurry it up. They are trying their job, and we are waiting, but they are doing a much more difficult job. So what in Antarctica is needed is a team people, not individualistic. If you are impatient and all that, you will create more problem. You will irritate who is doing a very difficult job. So what is needed is a people with patience, or there should be a smile in your face even in difficult time. You have to do your job as properly as you can do it. They are doing the job and all that. Now this is a frostbite. This is not it. This is a book example. But this is what can happen, not only in Antarctica, even in Himalayas. Any mountains and all that, it can happen. And then there is no, if it is really, what exactly has happened, these fine capillaries, they get constricted. And then you do not get pain, you lose your sense. And if it is for a longer time, your blood does not flow, so it becomes, and then if it is for a very long time, then you have to do gangrene sets in, and you have to do amputation. There is no other treatment. So we have to take careful. And so if you feel that it is initiated, very gently massage it so that the capillaries ultimately flow, blood flows through that. But don't do it. Then the skin will come out of it and create problem. You see, I told you, no vehicle should go alone. So here is a smart Alex. He thinks nothing will happen to him, it will happen to others. He does not know that so this he does not know. He cannot find out which side is north, which side is east, which side is west, which side is south. Now if he goes into a crevasse, it will be a big problem for us how to really locate, because we shall be doing research, aerial survey. And it will be difficult to locate him because this is all in a desert of ice. So this type of people should not be in expedition, because they are not strictly the way the discipline should be maintained. Now this is what has happened, 1-year-old station, Dakshin Gangotri. In 1 year, it is a 2-story building. 1 story has been covered with ice accumulation. And you have to make a tunnel. You have to make a tunnel to reach and then there are emergency windows at the top. You come through that and then come out and dig a tunnel and make an access to it. So therefore, there are ways and means to really make so that at least any building at least survives for 5-10 years. It is not here. So that I shall show you afterwards. Now this is something called whiteout. You can see this is a climatic conditions which can take place perhaps anywhere, but it occurs occasionally in Antarctica. There is no shadow. Big or small, there should be a shadow, isn't it? It is not completely dark, but it is not very bright. A type of weather, at times you get it. This is called whiteout. During this whiteout period, the brain's receptions doesn't work exactly. It cannot very clearly resolve the undulations in the ground and all that. So what will happen while walking, you may fall down, because your perception is not perfect of the ground undulations, minor variations. It can heavier pilots may not land it very safely because he doesn't get the feeling of the surface of the land. Then birds sometimes land and because it does not make a clear judgment because of the whiteouts. But this doesn't happen every day. I have not seen whiteout there. But this can happen, and this does happen, and accidents have taken place. This is the accident that took place on 1st of January, New Year's gift to me for a helicopter. What has happened, there was a pilot, he was an ace pilot,